You don't scam 10,000 people. You activate a belief system. There is a number where the word fraud stops making sense in the way people want it to. 10 people can be deceived. 100 people can be misled. But 10,000 people is no longer a crime story. It is a thought system revealing itself at scale. At that point, the question is no longer who tricked whom. The real question becomes, what belief was already in place that made this inevitable? Because no one manufactures hunger, they simply notice where it already exists. No one creates an opportunity. They seize an opening in a belief that is already asking to be filled. This is why the victim-villain frame always feels unsatisfying. It is too small for what actually happened, and it conveniently protects the ego from the only inquiry that matters. A Course in Miracles never asks who is guilty, it asks what was believed. Because the world does not cause events. The mind sets conditions, and the world obeys. This was not a money problem. Money was just the symbol chosen by the belief. The belief came first. And it sounds like this. Something outside me can fix what I feel inside me. That thought is never shouted. It whispers. It shows up as exhaustion pretending to be hope. I just need a break. This could change everything. God wouldn't let this fail. I'm tired of struggling. None of that is greed. It is fatigue mixed with urgency. And urgency is the ego's favorite climate. Because tired minds stop asking structural questions. They stop asking how. They stop asking, where does this come from? They stop asking, what must be true for this to work? And they replace discernment with desire. The board was not the crime. It was the confession. For one person to be blessed, someone else had to be waiting. For one level to rise, another had to remain below. That is not an accident. It is the operating requirement. Any system that needs someone to lose so another can win is not broken. It is functioning exactly as designed. The ego always builds systems that require inequality to appear successful, not because it is cruel, but because it does not understand wholeness. It only understands position, rank, timing, access. But God does not distribute blessings by logistics, and truth does not move through levels. The phrase, "we were promised," is revealing, but not in the way people think. A promise only works where judgment has already been handed over. No one loses money without first outsourcing discernment. That does not make anyone stupid. It makes them human inside a belief system that rewards magical thinking. The ego never says, ignore logic. It says, this time is different. Every scheme in history runs on that sentence. Different decade, different packaging, same mind. This is why exposure always ends the game. Not because of punishment, but because of sight. Scams do not collapse from secrecy. They collapse when the structure is fully seen. Seeing the math, seeing the flow, seeing that movement was mistaken for progress. The ego does not fear prison. It fears clarity, because clarity ends participation, and participation was the only fuel. There are no villains here. There are no victims here. There is only a belief being exposed. The belief that peace comes later, that abundance comes faster, that salvation comes through someone else. A Course in Miracles offers the quiet correction. You do not fix the world. You correct the mind that thought it needed fixing. When that belief is undone, nothing has to be punished. Nothing has to be defended.
The system does not collapse in flames. It simply disappears. Because truth does not recruit, peace does not accelerate, and blessings do not arrive in no time. They were never missing.